Hello and welcome everyone. It is Tuesday, August 4th. I cannot believe it. You guys, August 4th. It feels like a week ago it was May. I mean, seriously. It's gone so quickly. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be talking tonight about this wonderful industry of network marketing. And I know there are still some people who aren't really sure what is it all about and what, how do I explain it and is it okay? So I hope that the things you learn tonight are going to help you be really proud to be associated with, first of all, this industry, and secondly, this company within this industry, because our company is really kind of a step above, and you're going to hear that. And I kind of understand that. I initially had a hesitancy about the industry, and it's really, I think, because I didn't understand it. And I think sometimes our fear or discomfort comes from us not being really clear on something. And speaking of that, I heard a great Periscope today, and it was talking about being comfortable versus uncomfortable, and switching actually that languaging, which I use quite frequently, with unfamiliar and familiar. So sometimes things, I did a call with someone today and they said, it's just really hard to do XYZ. And I said, why don't we look at it a little differently? It's just new. It's new to you. And what if we just start thinking about it as it's unfamiliar and it's going to become familiar as you do it? Like, how different is that, rather than, oh, come on, and I've said it, and I do believe in getting out of our comfort zone, and that languaging is totally okay. But maybe also an additional or different way to look at it is, you're going to be doing some things that are unfamiliar to you. Most people aren't born doing three-way calls and learning how to connect and doing all of that kind of stuff. So letting them know that it's okay. It is going to be uncomfortable, and we're going to work on it together until it becomes, unfamiliar, until it becomes familiar. So I just love that. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And Becca, I don't know if you missed it, but welcome, your first time with us. And you've just joined our team recently, so we're thrilled to have you join us.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. All right, well, I'm actually going to do a little screen share for a moment while we go into this. And James is going to be jumping out to help in a bit, so go share. So do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so what is this thing called network marketing? Does anybody want to take a stab at, like, if somebody said, well, what is network marketing? What does it mean? Does anybody want to take a stab at actually explaining or answering that question?
I explain that we cut out the middleman. So instead of you having to go to a store, you order directly from the company, and so it gets you the best price on the products as well, and it saves the company money on advertising, because word of mouth is the best form of advertising anyways, and we get paid instead of the advertisers, or instead of them paying for commercials. Is kind of a simplistic way. I don't get asked it often, though.
That's good. I like that. Anyone else? Come on, leaders, jump out and share. This is a safe place to practice and to share what we know with each other. Well, one of the things...
I'll go.
Okay.
I was just going to mention it is a... network marketing is marketing that is directly to the consumer, from the manufacturer to the consumer, very similar to what Chelsea is saying. However, they do cut out the middle person, and they reward all of us with some great jingle in our pocket for marketing great products.
Yeah, I like that. And there are probably lots of ways we could describe it. One of the things I've said is same thing, like it's basically where the company ships direct from the manufacturer to the consumer's doorstep. So, for example, even something like Amazon. And we had a conversation today about somebody who had a little discomfort around the industry. And I said, do you love how you're feeling? Do you love these products? Absolutely. And I said, would you be telling everybody you come across if you had to send them to a store to buy it? Definitely. I said, so this is really, you're being rewarded by it for it. So it's that's what network marketing is that we get rewarded for it. And I think that's sometimes where the discomfort comes from. I don't come across people who have negative issues about the industry anymore. And I think it's because my belief is so rock solid. So if any of you after this still have some doubts or discomfort around it, please do feel free to talk to us. Another way I've explained it for people who just don't know, like don't have a clue what network marketing is all about, they don't have any preconceived notions, I'll say something like, do you have a Costco membership? And they say yes. And I said, have you ever sent someone to Costco or referred them? And they said, yeah. And I said, okay, so let's say you introduced me to Costco. I'd never shopped there before. I went and got a membership and I started shopping there. And Costco would pay you a percentage of everything I buy. Would that be a cool thing? Yeah. And what about all the people I send to Costco to shop? They give you a percentage of everything they buy every time they shop there. Would that be a cool thing? Yeah. Well, that's really what network marketing is. And that's what we get to do. So, all right, this slide is not going anywhere for some reason. Uh-oh, my computer froze. So I'm going to post this video later. I think a lot of you have seen it. It's a cute little cartoon and it's funny, but there are some really great statistics in there. So do listen for that.
I love this one.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
The statistics are oldish. I have the spinning wheel. Hold on a sec, you guys. Let me see if there's anything I can close. My computer's frozen. All right, James, while this is unfreezing, do you want to maybe say how you describe the industry? And we'll get into some of the stats and that. I have it here later. But
Oh, there you, oh, okay. Did you want to go over some stats or no?
that's coming up. So you can, but maybe like how it, you know, how would you describe it if somebody didn't know what it was or anything about the industry?
Yeah, I like your analogy that it's like Costco. I think that's a simple thing for people to understand. For me, it's marketing happens all the time, and we all have been experts at marketing. I mean, were any of you ever a little kid who wanted something and your parents said no the first 200 times you asked and you just kept asking until you got it? I mean, we have, we've been marketing since we were little, and the only thing that's different about this is when it says network, it's your network. It's the people that you know. They say the average person has 200 people show up to their funeral, so the average person knows at least 200 people closely enough for them to come to your funeral. So nobody can tell me they don't know anybody. And really, it's just the company says, okay, we'll give you the tools to be different than I went to a great restaurant. And I don't need to know all the ingredients. I don't need to know the chef. I don't need to know what year they started. I don't need to know what their competitors do. I just go to the restaurant, I have a good meal, and I tell somebody else. And as Steph said, wouldn't it be wonderful if they gave me some money, some percentage of everything that everybody spent that I ever recommended to a particular restaurant? So it's a simple idea. It's just people sharing a story of something they enjoyed. The only difference is this company rewards us for it. But I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. It's like I have a choice. I can send somebody to me and I get rewarded, or I can send them to big business. So who would you rather get that money? And if it's an individual, you're keeping it in your community as well. So I like that. I like that idea that we're not rewarding big business. There's something about big business that doesn't always work in the small communities. So why not keep it personal? Why not keep it in our own communities? Let's have the next person who makes $1 million from marketing be our next door neighbor, right after us.
Yeah, I love that. And there's this big push for people to do business local. How much more local can you get than with your next door neighbor or your closest friend and supporting their business? So who just dialed in? Is that Laura from 303?
Sorry, yes, it's Lauren Raymond.
Oh,
Love
Lauren,
you.
hi.
Hi.
So I'm going to go back to the screen share, and we will continue. All right, so here's some really interesting statistics, and this blew my mind the first time I heard it. Every year, over 2,000 new network marketing companies are born, and I'm sure that counts direct sales, multi-level, and network marketing companies. Only a 10% make it to their 1-year anniversary. 67 companies have ever made it to 100 million a year. Ever, you guys. 43 companies have ever made it to 250 million a year. Only 4 companies have made it to 250 million a year and continue to grow and expand in North America, their home market. And only 1 company has made it to 600, well, we're now 850 million or a billion this year, and continue to grow and expand in all the markets. Oh, sorry. I don't know if there's any. Holy smokes, this thing's just doing whatever it wants, you guys. I must have gremlins. I was just trying to see if there's, over 80% of the associates are product users. So I think that's really phenomenal. And James, you have some additional statistics to add to this. So I'm gonna just show the next slide, and then I'll take us back out of the screen share. So this also really blew my mind. This is from Eric Worre's film, the documentary. And how big an industry we are. I believe in his documentary, he says that network marketing pays out $200 million a day. Jeez. I don't know of any other industry that pays that much. And, the kind of wealth that is potential or freedom, let's not even talk about wealth. It doesn't have to be huge wealth, but how many opportunities does someone have to make multiple 6 figures? How many young boys are going to make it into the NFL? How many people hit it big in the music industry? How many people hit it big in the film industry? So we really are in a very, very phenomenal and honorable profession, in my humble opinion. And again, this is all it is. We have a gift. I would say that if you're on this call or listening to this recording, you feel like Isagenix has helped you in some way. Everybody on this call has benefited in some way. And there are people out there who need solutions. I was one of those. I was desperately seeking a solution to help with my health. There are also people out there with dreams. And I had dreams even though they were kind of on the back burner because I wasn't sure how to get to any of my dreams. How would I be able to ever stop working for other people? I didn't know. So there are both kinds of people out there, and it's our only job is to connect them with one of our tools and offer them a solution. And then just repeat, and then just repeat, and then just repeat. So, James, what did you want to say further about history?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's interesting because the industry has been around for, well, it's older than I am, so that tells you it's been around a long time. And we're familiar with some of the oldest, biggest names. I mean, so let me just do a test. Some of the top 10 companies in our industry. How many of you have been Trackley? No? Trackley, yeah. A few of you. Started in 1956.
Wow.
Been around a long time. How many of you have heard of Tupperware? Tupperware, yeah. Tupperware parties, direct selling industry. Started in 1946. How many of you have heard of Pink Cadillacs? Some of you?
What is
Started
it?
In
You're cutting
Mary,
out. You're cutting
Mary
out.
Kay.
Mary Kay.
Mary Kay Cosmetics, yeah. Pink Cadillacs. 1963. How many of you have heard of Avon? Avon calling? Anyone? Yes? Everyone? 1886.
My gosh.
1886. And how many of you have heard of Amway? Anyone? Amway? Ever? Yes? 1959. Amway last year did almost $11 billion in revenue.
Jeez.
These are huge, big companies. Avon was 2013, it was a $10 billion company. Herbalife, $5 billion. I mean, these are big, big companies, and they've been around a long time. So, you know, companies don't get that big if they're not doing something right. And what they're doing right is they're doing network marketing. I mean, they're marketing directly from the manufacturer to the end user. And obviously it works. I mean, if we get companies that have been around for 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years, clearly the industry works. But I'll tell you what's most amazing to me. You know, the Direct Selling Association, Direct Selling News, does a top 50. They just started doing this. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably backwards. They do a top 50 largest North American companies. So those ones that I talked about that started in like the 1950s, you know, those are the guys that are in the top 10. Amway, Avon, Herbalife, Mary Kay, Tupperware, Nu Skin, Primerica, Shackley, ACN, which is a phone service, and in number 12 is USANA. The newest of that bunch started in 1993. So, you know who's number 13? Anybody guess? Started 13 years ago, just the baby of the bunch. Yeah, it's us. 2002, Isagenix started, and we're creeping up into that top 10 real fast. I mean, last year we grew at 50%. If we grow at 50% again this year, we will be in the top 10 and we will pass Shackley, who has been around since 1956. They're one of the very first multi-level marketing companies on the planet. So we're doing amazing. Like, it's an amazing industry. It's a huge industry. It's paying out a ton of money to average everyday individuals. You know our motto, we want to have the most number of 6 and 7-figure income earners on the planet. And, you know, we're doing it the right way. We're growing fast. We're growing fast in all markets. I don't think any company is anywhere close to us in terms of our growth rate. I mean, USANA, which is number 12, they did 790 million last year. They grow about 10% a year, which, you know what, if you talk to anybody who's running a big company, 10% is a great growth rate. 50% is crazy. And we'll do it for 3 years. This will be our 3rd year in a row of doing 50%. So I don't know. I mean, if we grow 50% this year, that puts us in the top 10. You know, if we grow 50% the next year, you know, it's getting us close to the top 5.
That's incredible.
So, yeah. So, you know, you can be really proud of our company. I mean, be proud of the industry because it's been around a really long time and it's making a lot of people a lot of money. But you can be really proud of our company because clearly we're taking this industry by storm. Clearly. So if you want to be on the rising star, oh, well, you all are. You're in the right place.
That's right. You know, I love that. And you guys, that's really important info for you to know, and not necessarily to throw out at everyone, obviously, but certainly anyone who's considering participating in our compensation structure, or anyone who's kind of uncertain about the business model. These are really important things to know because I think a lot of people really don't know. The other thing that really truly sets us apart, and James has been with several companies, so he can speak to this as well, are the Cougars, you know, and our vision. Like our vision is to impact world health and in the process, and free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. Not in network marketing, in the world. Like Kathy Cougar plans to be bigger than Johnson & Johnson or any other health and wellness company. And she's a pretty tenacious woman. And Kathy Cougar also has a vision to help create the most 6 and 7-figure earners in our industry. And I truly believe we're on track to do that. So I think the fact that the Cougars came out of retirement and didn't have to work again, we weren't started by a bunch of marketers who are sitting around saying, well, what's hot right now? What's the latest berry, or what's the greatest juice we could sell right now? Let's bring that to market. They were actually dragged out of retirement by John Anderson, who also came out of retirement. All three of them were set for life financially and didn't do this out of any need for themselves or to fill their own pockets. And I think that that's the other thing that feels so different to me, the heart of this company. With the Cougars and their vision and their mission. Do you want to speak to that? And accessibility too. I mean, we have the relationship that the field has with corporate is unlike anything I've seen personally. And James, I don't know if you remember the last company we were in together. I mean, it was like royalty and don't come near. And there was this whole, I was at corporate, so it was very much kind of us against them relationship at the time I was there. I don't know if it's still the same way.
Well, I know when I started, one of the things that was really encouraging to me was there was a very clear mandate from the company that if it's not good for the associates, it's not good for the company. And you would think that that is common sense, but I've never, ever been with a company or heard of a company that actually has that as their overriding philosophy. And I mean, it totally makes sense. If you're not a happy associate, you're not going to be talking about the product. And if nobody talks about the product, then corporate has no sales. So, I mean, clearly they want us to be happy. And I love that. And I'll tell you the other thing that I love is every other company I've ever seen, it's either started by somebody who is crazy about products and creates a good product and then wonders, how do I get this to market? Or it's crazy good marketers who simply want to find a product that they can drop into a marketing system. I've never seen a company, heard of one, or involved in one, where the three people who started the company represent a product developer who's crazy about product and very good, somebody who was an associate and made it to the top ranks of 3 different companies, and somebody who was on the corporate side and took a company to $1 billion a year. It's unheard of. It's unheard of for that team to get together and decide to launch something. So I'll tell you, we have people at the top ranks that understand how to have great products, how to have happy associates, and how to create a company structure that will go to multi-billions of dollars a year. So we are so blessed. And you can see it in the numbers. I mean, why else would a company that's 13 years old be, approaching the top 10 ranks of companies that are 40 and 50 years old? Because we're that good.
Thank you. So did any takeaways, ahas from this, you guys, so far? And you might have to unmute yourself.
I just want to say that I got the vision really at NYKO how large we were. However, just by saying so, thank you, James and Stephanie. I just didn't realize how fast we were growing. And I knew it, I could feel it, but really it gave a whole new, it was a much wider scope. So thank you.
Thank you, Gina. And you're still really faint for some reason this time.
I don't know why. Is this louder?
A little bit.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe I'm just soft-spoken tonight.
You are. You're kind of just spoken. All right. Who else? So somebody else wanted to say something.
That was me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That was Penny. Okay. I didn't realize and never put that together what James just now explained about the unique creation as far as I always knew like the experience of Kathy Coover in the field and those different things, but it never dawned on me that wasn't the case in other network marketing companies. So I think that's phenomenal.
Thank you. And you know what? That was actually something that drew me is I really wanted someone at the helm who had field experience because having been at corporate in another company, I thought, oh my gosh, on the corporate level, everyone here has business experience, but none of them have been in the field. And I feel like that's why they couldn't relate to what it was like. So that was a huge check mark in the right checkbox for me in evaluating this company as a potential home. Anyone else learn anything new?
I just wanted to ask Stephanie, what is your typical response when somebody asks you, or somebody they don't ask, or, oh, I don't want to get involved in a pyramid scheme?
You've had somebody say that to you?
Quite a few.
You've had people say to you, I don't want to get involved in a pyramid scheme?
Yes.
Well, I don't have a typical response because I've never ever been told that. And what was the preceding conversation before that?
Well, up until that, I talk about how, you're your own boss, and how multi-level marketing is actually is a type of business that's based on the distributors making it a success. So that's where they say, oh, like a pyramid. And I'm like, no, not quite, no. And then I make them Google the difference between a pyramid and network marketing, multi-level. And then they find, I guess if they read it from Google, they believe it more than if I say it, but.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would personally be very leery of sending someone to Google, because people will find what they're looking for in Google. And if they're looking for proof that network marketing is bad, they will find exactly that. I don't know, it doesn't even come up for me. Like, the distribution model really rarely comes up for me because I put it out there right up front. But I think if somebody said something like that to me, is like, oh, you don't want to be involved in a network or a pyramid scheme. Oh my gosh, me either. That would be horrible because those are illegal. I don't want to go to jail. Huh. I totally get you. So maybe the conversation that's happening is a little too much around the business model for some reason. Instead of offering a solution and finding out what they're looking for, first finding out what they're looking for, what their needs are, and then offering them the solution. And I think that becomes then secondary, same as price. Again, if it's something they really want, I mean, James, when he saw me, he basically said, I don't care if it's legal, whatever you're doing, I want it. So, James, what would you say to that? I've never actually had somebody say, oh, I don't want to be involved in a pyramid scheme.
Well, that's, I was just going to add one thing is that I said, well, this company is from 2002, and we've got now 160 millionaires. If that was the case, they'd all be in jail.
Yeah. For me, I really want to know what it is that they mean. So, I'll usually say, so are you asking whether this is an illegal pyramid, or are you concerned about any kind of pyramid? So like a government pyramid where we have a prime minister or a president and then ministers, and then they have their staff, and or are you talking about a corporate pyramid where we have a president and vice presidents and general managers and district managers? You're talking about a school pyramid where we have a superintendent and principals and teachers, and like I'm not too sure what kind of a pyramid you don't want to be involved in. And if you know something about them, if they're already working, you can say, so, most structures look like pyramids. I don't know. I mean, if you're happy with the pyramid that you're in, which is usually corporate, then stay there. But, I found a way to actually be my own boss. So, if it's a pyramid, it starts with me. And I'm just offering you a chance to be at the top of your own pyramid, if that's how you want to look at it.
Yeah, so I think there are lots of different ways to address that. So find one that fits for you, but definitely don't get into convincing or making people wrong. So, it's just like, well, what do you mean by that? A pyramid scheme. Can you tell me a little more about that? Because I don't know what a pyramid scheme really exactly is. Because you don't know what they mean, or I don't know what you mean. And then saying, well, what do you have experience with that? Like, did you get in trouble with some sort of pyramid scheme? And if it's a good friend, you could say something like, you honestly think that of me, that I would be involved in something illegal? And if you want to have some fun with it, I've heard, I can't remember which of our leaders said it, but something to the effect of, yeah, but we can make a ton of money before we go to jail. You know, so it really kind of depends on your personality and the personality of who you're talking to. But I definitely wouldn't get into arm twisting or convincing. And, you know, the less we say and the more we listen, again, to what they want. Sometimes people put up barriers like that because they just don't know how to say no to whatever they think is going on. So, is that helpful?
It is. That is helpful. And when I did say that back to her, I said, well, what's your idea of a pyramid scheme? And she said, well, you know, normally you ask me to put money in, I put 500 in, I get 2 more people put 500 in, it goes on and on. Well, that's just money. We're not talking consumable products. And then I did give the example with Avon and Mary Kay and Tupperware and all that, but it just seems this person's, a couple of their minds are just set there. So you're right. Then I just have to stop.
But you know what? Let them be, because they are right. So affirm that they're right, because what she described absolutely is an illegal pyramid scheme. Say, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. That is an illegal pyramid scheme. I've never been, I haven't done that. Or did you get involved in that? So let them be right, because that's what they are. Say, well, I'm really glad that's not what I'm involved in, and move on to something else. I'm really glad I'm not involved in that. We just buy and recommend products. It's not about giving people money. No, it's not like that at all.
Right.
You know, I'm not giving you any money. I buy product from the company. So, yeah, sometimes less is more, and just move on. Just let them hang on to that attachment, and maybe if it's someone you know well enough, once I post that video, you can send it to them. Anyone else learn anything, or did you guys know all this stuff already?
Can I just add one thing about languaging?
Yeah.
Multi-level marketing versus network marketing, there is a difference. So particularly a lot of the older companies like the Amways and the Shackleys actually had cutoffs. So for instance, in Amway, you only got paid down 25 levels, and whatever happened after that was gone. You didn't get paid on it no matter what. So in Isagenix, we don't have levels. So it's not correct actually to call us multi-level marketing. It is correct to call us network marketing. And so I would eliminate the phrase multi-level marketing from your languaging when you're talking about Isagenix. So you can talk about that as an industry, and there's still lots of companies that work that way, but we're a network marketing company. And we keep paying you until you hit the maximum for the leg, which is $13,500 a week, and it has nothing to do with levels. Does that help anyone? Is that clear enough?
Yes.
Yeah, if somebody asks me, is this multi-level marketing? I say, not in the traditional sense, in that we do not get paid on levels. We get paid to unlimited depth up to a maximum of $27,000 a week. So with bonuses, James said $13,500, that's right, plus matching bonuses up to that amount. So
Can I ask a question about that really quick, just while you said it?
of course.
You say, okay, I've heard you say like up to this certain amount, but then if you max out, can't you like earn more than that? Like Susan Sly, I'm assuming, makes more than that a week because of her so many, oh my God, my brain just like turned off. But yeah, business centers.
You'll get more than, I don't generally go further than that unless I'm talking to a network marketer with experience. And then I would say that there's something that's also extremely unique about our compensation structure. When you do max out your business, you know, if 27,000 a week isn't quite enough for you, and I'll say I'm not there yet, then Isagenix does something very different from other companies I'm familiar with. Most companies might give you another business center, which you then put at the very bottom of your team, and you start all over again from scratch. What Isagenix does is give you another business center. It's called a re-entry. You get to insert it above your original business center, which means you already have 2/3 of your business built, and then you just have to, you basically go from making 6% to making 18% because you're building your inside leg. But that's way over most people's. It's just, you know,
I just never use the language like you can earn up to a certain amount a week, because to me, the way I've always understood it with Isagenix is the sky's the limit because of that.
Yeah.
But
I will say yeah. I'll say up to 27,000 if I'm talking to somebody, when I'm just saying you can start one person on your left, one person on your right, and just keep building those two teams. And with those two teams, you can earn up to 27,000 a week. The last company I was with, which was an excellent company and had a great compensation plan, but not nearly as good as ours. In that company, one on the left, one on the right, and just keep building that until you hit the maximum. Their maximum was $1,000 a week. So
Well,
you think, I know. So you think of $1,000 a week compared to 27,000 just building two legs. I'm not familiar with another company that has it structured so that you can build two legs and make $27,000.
yeah. And if you're telling, for some people to say unlimited, the sky's the limit, you can make it, it's just, they can't even wrap their brains around that. I don't even have a $27,000 a week conversation with too many people because that's just so unbelievable.
No, neither do I. I just wanted to clarify just because it's a question I've had and I keep forgetting to ask you.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go through a few more slides, and then if we have time, I have a little video. So share again. Share. All right. So I think James already touched on some of this, but here are stats about Isagenix, and these are now, we're outdating our stats so quickly because we keep getting new awards. We're higher on the DSA, more millionaires. But just so you guys can see what this is all about, and the growth curve is phenomenal. And to be mentioned in Inc. magazine and the DSA, et cetera. Now we're, last year we were number 27, I believe, in the direct selling worldwide, which is phenomenal. This also, of course, needs a new slide because now we've won some gold. 2015, we won gold Stevies as well. We moved from 29 to 26. That's a huge jump in 1 year. 8 years in a row, now would be 9 years in a row on the Inc. 5000 top list. So I can't wait to get all the updated new info. This one's probably even missing our latest country. I don't know if they're announcing a new market at Celebration, but it's pretty exciting to even be in all these markets, I think. And then, of course, you guys all know about our solutions. But, I would love to kind of just share with you what the gals from Colorado already saw this, but this is how I see network marketing. And let me see if this will play. Pay really close attention to the girl in the front row of the audience. Uh-oh. We have audio. All by herself. Everyone thinks she's crazy, but she's going for it. She's feeling good. She had her E-shot. She had her Ionics. She had her shake after her double cleanse day. Now a couple more people join because they see how awesome she feels.
Look how she's smashing. Like, oh my God. Jump off that sofa. Keep watching. Oh. I know the will have to fall. Sit down and go. I'm just lose it all. I feel so down. I want to let go.
Look at her team is growing, you guys. She keeps going.
Look at her dancing. Just take it. best in town. We'll shut it down.
More people join.
'Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. 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 Tonight's enough. Hey, let's give it up. Let's give it up. I've got my money.
Oh my gosh, look at all those people. Oh.
Look at it dance. And just take it off. Let's make the town. We'll shut it down. Let's turn the roof up. And then we'll do it. Let's 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 do it. Here we go. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy go. Easy go. Now we on top. Feel the show. Rock it go. Rock it go. Stop. Turn it down. Up and down. Over the top. Come on, come on. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be a good day. Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Oh, you guys, so honestly, let me get us back to, that's how I see what we do. I have goosebumps from head to toe, and I've seen this so many times, but honestly, I just feel like maybe it doesn't feel like that when, you know, you've only shared with a couple of people, or your team's not growing as fast as you want it to, but that's what we're doing. We're starting a movement of wellness and abundance and freedom. And we have a gift that we're obligated to share with people, even if they're all looking at us like we're crazy at first. Eventually, you keep going and you keep showing up with that kind of enthusiasm and that kind of belief and that kind of commitment, like that girl in the front row, people will come and join you. So that's my vision of what we're all about. It's a movement. And I just, sometimes I feel like, you know, when I look at how many lives have been touched in my 10 years directly from me, and I sometimes feel like Oprah, looking at the tree and looking at how many people, like, oh my God, like, how did that happen? So anyway.
Gets me excited for celebration.
What's that?
I said it gets me pumped up for celebration because I know what it's like there.
Oh my gosh. So does that put kind of a different perspective on it for anyone?
Awesome. That's great motivation, Stephanie. That is right. It's like dominoes effect.
Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, this is why we really want to build our beliefs. And we've talked about this before. You must have a really rock solid belief in this industry, in this company. I think we're all pretty solid on the products because we've all experienced the transformation. And then a belief in our compensation structure and a belief in self. And that was probably the biggest one I had to work on, was belief in myself and belief in the industry. So did anyone's belief in our industry and in our company go up even just a little bit on this call?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Because I've been part of another company before and there wasn't even close to this. I had a completely different idea of what it was, and it was definitely not this, which is great. I felt like a salesman, which I definitely don't feel that way with this. It's just sharing my experience. So yeah, something totally different.
Awesome. Well, share this recording, you guys. I will post this one in the group, although most of them are posted on YouTube, but just to make it accessible. And did you guys see the post by chance of which will be the song at Celebration?
No.
The one we're supposed to learn the moves to?
No, not yet.
Okay, so it's, oh my gosh, I'm so out of the loop of pop culture right now. Whip It, is it called Whip It? Joe, you know this one?
Is that by Devo? It's an older song if it's
No,
Whip
not
It.
Whip It then. Whip My Hair or Whip My,
Oh.
what's that song called? Hang on a sec. I gotta find it. So I would challenge I'll post the link, who wants to learn it, and then we're gonna go find the cameras and go do, remember we ended up on camera, Joe, last
Yeah.
year with the,
I saw that video. I was trying to post it the other day.
oh, you've gotta post that one.
Post it.
I'm trying to find. It wouldn't let me post it for some reason. I couldn't get it in there.
You found it though?
I have it. I'll send it to you. I'll text it to you. Maybe you can try. I couldn't figure out how to get it posted. It wouldn't let me do it.
Anyway, I bet if we had, even 3, 4, 5, 6 of us who could do the moves together, hang on, let me figure it out. I bet you we would end up on camera or in a video or something, because that's what they're gonna be looking for. Whip My Hair, is that what it's called? No, that's Willow Smith. Oh, I'll find it, I'll post it. So, okay, takeaways, and then we'll wrap it up.
I have something to say. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, thanks, Jamie.
Make sure. Okay, I feel it's so interesting how things happen, because earlier today, before I saw the topic of what the discussion was going to be tonight, I was standing in my kitchen and this random thought popped into my mind about multi-level marketing and just kind of not being completely clear on what it really entails. And when I saw your post today, Stephanie, about the topic of tonight's call, I just thought, well, here's my answer. I'm going to get it tonight. And I just feel so informed now, and I jotted down a bunch of notes, and I just feel more confident now. So if I'm approached with, questions in regards to that, I feel prepared, so thank you.
You're welcome. And Penny, I'll post that as soon as we finish the recording. I'll post it for you. You can snap a screenshot, or I can email you the link. Penny wanted a screenshot of the NFL slide. Thank you, Jamie. Anyone else?
I would also love a screenshot of the stat slide, the one, the very first one. I couldn't write fast enough. And my takeaways was just other ways to describe network marketing or replies. I don't get that a whole lot, but it's still good to be armed with more tools. So in just different ways, like I liked even your humor with we can make a lot of money before we go to jail, depending on who it is. So it's just good to have different ways to reply to.
Right. Holy.
Okay.
All right, one last one.
I was just going to say if you just Google direct selling news, they do actually publish those pages. So if you want to print off that top 50, and actually you only have to print off the first page because we're number 13. So if you want something to show people just how fast we're growing, that's a great thing to show people.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so in working on beliefs, let me just end the recording. So thank you guys all for joining, whether you're with us live or watching in replay. Thank you.